Hello and welcome to the Evo India YouTube channel, and say hello to the all-new BMW CE2. Now, I don't know whether to call this a scooter or a motorcycle, and BMW says it really doesn't fit into any category whatsoever. It's a very unique, bold statement for what an urban commuter should be, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what you need to be knowing about the BMW CE2. But before we proceed, don't forget to like this video, share it with like-minded enthusiasts, and smash that bell icon to stay notified for all of our video drops. Now let's start with the design of the CE02, and the CE in CE02 stands for Concept Electric, which means it was a ground up 100% electric product right from the drawing board. So unlike the CE04, which sort of has a lot of design cues from the C400 GT, this is unlike anything in the BMW Motorrad portfolio, and the styling is really testament to the fact that concept was heavy in the design process of this whole thing. As of right now, it doesn't look like anything that's in the market, anything that has been in the market, or for that matter of fact, even something that we might see in the market. So now the design of this is very contemporary. You have this nice rectangle headlight up front, you have big chunky wheels, you have 14-inch wheels on both ends. The front wears a 120 section tire, the rear wears a 150 section tire. The tires come from Michelin, and you have these golden upside down forks. Now the forks are golden only in the Highline variant. With that Highline variant, you get a few other feature upgrades. I'll get to that in a minute. One of the things from the design point of view that you get with the Highline variant are all of these different colored stickers, and as you can see, even the seat, it has this black, teal and white theme going on for it. You also have this that's a part of the Highline variant. Now, as I said before, I can't really categorize this into either being a scooter or a motorcycle, but when you do interact with it, it does feel a little more motorcycle-like, because if I were to sit on it, so while you're sat on it, it does feel a little more like a motorcycle, because you do have this big mass over here in between your legs. Now for riding, you have these center-based foot pegs, but if you see, I am a large person and there's not much place left for a pillion, then that means I can also use this for riding for a little more commuted, for a little more sporty stance. Now speaking of sitting on this scooter or motorcycle, I really don't know what to call it, you have a 745mm seat height. You're reaching up to a nice wide and tall handlebar, so commuting in the city should be fun. You get a nice commanding riding stance, and you're looking into a really clear space because you have a really small horizontally laid out screen, but this is a TFT unit and it does display everything in color. The information, there's not a lot going on. You can see everything that you need to see at a glance. Now I'll step back off the scooter to continue talking about the design of this. Now, as you can see, this seat, it swoops up nicely over here where a tank would be if this was an ICE vehicle, but since this isn't, you have a nice empty space over here. So it's sort of like a statement that BMW is making with the design of this. Apart from that, as you can see, you have a single-sided swing arm where you also have the belt drive system. If you look at the CE02 from the other side, the wheel is completely exposed, and the design for the rims is also quite interesting. It's a full block of steel with a few holes around it. Makes it look very retro, but at the same time very modern as well. Now that's about it on the design front. There's not much to say. There's a lot to see and there's a lot to absorb, but the whole point of this is you interpret it as you want to. So whether you want it to be a scooter, whether you want it to be a motorcycle, everything's up to you. Individuality is the theme of this product. Now powering the CE02 is a 3.92 kWh battery pack that powers a motor that makes 14.7 bhp. Power is sent to the rear wheel via belt drive system, and you have two riding modes to choose from if you take the standard variant. If you get the Highline variant, there's a third mode. Now standard power modes are flow and surf, and then the Highline variant introduces a faster flash mode as well. Now in terms of charging, you get a 0.9 kWh standard charging system when you get the standard CE02. If you opt for the Highline pack, the charging speeds are taken up to 1.5 kilowatts. So charging should be slightly faster, almost double the speed if you get the Highline pack. Apart from that, the Highline pack also benefits from all these extra color options that you can see, all the stickering, the multicolor seat and this handlebar as well. Now in terms of the chassis setup that you get over here, you get 14-inch wheels on either ends, like I said, and chunky ones with a 120 section front tire, 150 section rear tire. You get these upside down forks. The single-sided swing arm also has a monoshock over here, and yeah, you're interacting with a 745mm seat height, a tall wide handlebar, and you get these nice adjustable levers as well. Everything feels high quality, everything feels properly BMW. Now braking comes with a disc brake at the front and the rear, and the braking components come from Zhejiang. That's about all I can tell you for the CE02 right now in terms of the specifications and the features that it has. Let me see you Now we did get to have a very short ride with the CE02, and I must say I am very impressed. Now this is a properly peppy scooter. There is a lot of power to be enjoyed. Now 14.7 bhp might not sound like a lot, but in the real world, considering the application that this CE02 is meant for, it's a whole lot of fun. The throttle response is really sharp. There's a lot of power anywhere in the rev range, properly in line with what an electric scooter should be like. Now we are riding the Highline variant, so we do have the flash mode as well, but that doesn't mean that the other two modes don't have enough pep and grunt. Now my impressions as far as the ride and handling of the scooter is concerned, it's very positive. I did get to spend very little time with it, so my opinions are not completely formed yet, but the initial impressions are solid. It rides over good roads and bad roads very well, and even in terms of handling, despite having a chunky front wheel as well, it turns in pretty nicely very quickly, and it's also very predictable. Like I said, the motor is a lot of fun, a lot of power to be enjoyed everywhere. Braking performance also from the initial impressions seems solid, but then again, all of these are initial impressions. Things like the range, which is 108 kilometers claimed, and the top speed, which is around 95 kilometers. We didn't really get to experience all of that, so that will be done comprehensively in our first ride review. But as it stands, I'm mighty impressed by the CE02, and the only thing that remains to be seen is what it's going to be priced at. Now the CE02 was not designed with practicality in mind, and BMW is very proud of that fact. This is something that you just use to get around in the most fun possible way in the city. It is not meant for your long highway commutes, not meant for anything else apart from just having a good time in the city. To that end, there's no storage space, there's no under-seat storage, no luggage racks, rails, none of that. In fact, the most practical feature you have on the CE02 is a place to store your skateboard. How cool is that? Now in terms of the headline figures, the only figures I can really tell you right now are the performance and range figures. So that's 108 kilometers of claimed range, 95 kilometers top speed, and 0 to 50 in 3 seconds. Now these are all claims, and we can't wait to put them for the test. But the really important number I really want to know is the price. Now what the price is, your guess is as good as mine, because the CE4, it was priced very expensively. But the saving grace for this CE02 is that it is going to be made in India. In fact, it already is being made in India. So what do you think BMW should price this scooter at, and what price is acceptable for you to consider going out and getting one? Do let me know in the comment section down below. That's it for this video, and as always, thank you for watching.